Welcome back to Propilio Effect. I'm your host, Jodie. Today, we're exploring a word that's everywhere: authenticity. People tell us to be authentic, stay true to yourself, or live authentically. But what does that actually mean? Is authenticity about never changing? About always speaking your mind? Or is it something much deeper? Let's find out. At its core, authenticity means living in a way that reflects your genuine values, beliefs, and character rather than simply performing for the approval of others. It doesn't mean being perfect. It doesn't mean sharing every thought you have. And it certainly doesn't mean refusing to grow. Many people think authenticity means saying, "This is just who I am," even when their behavior hurts others. But that's not authenticity. That's avoiding responsibility. Authenticity isn't an excuse to stop improving. In fact, truly authentic people are often the ones most willing to admit when they're wrong and change their minds. Think about an actor on stage. They wear a costume and play a role written by someone else. We all do something similar throughout life. At work, at school, on social media, or even among friends, we sometimes play roles because we want to fit in or meet expectations. There's nothing inherently wrong with adapting to different situations. The problem begins when the role becomes so convincing that we forget who we are beneath it. So how do you know whether you're being authentic? One question to ask yourself is, if nobody could judge me, would I still make this choice? Imagine posting something online. Are you posting it because it reflects something meaningful to you? Or because you hope it gets likes and approval? Imagine choosing a career. Did you choose it because it genuinely interests you, or because others expect it of you? Authenticity isn't about rejecting other people's opinions altogether. We all learn from others. Instead, it's about making sure your most important decisions come from your own values rather than from fear of rejection. This is especially difficult today because we live in a world filled with constant comparison. Every day we see carefully edited versions of other people's lives. Perfect holidays. Perfect relationships. Perfect careers. Perfect bodies. It's easy to start believing that being accepted means becoming more like everyone else. Ironically, the more people chase uniqueness for attention, the more similar they often become. The same trends. The same opinions. The same style. The same content. Authenticity isn't about looking different. It's about being honest. History gives us many examples of authenticity. Scientists who defended discoveries despite criticism. Artists who created work that nobody understood at first. Writers who challenged accepted ideas. Reformers who questioned traditions they believed were unjust. Whether history ultimately judged them as right or wrong, what made them authentic was that they acted according to deeply held convictions rather than simply following the crowd. But authenticity also has limits. Imagine a surgeon telling a patient, "I'm just authentically rude." Or someone refusing to apologize because I'm only being myself. That's not authenticity. That's confusing personality with character. Being authentic doesn't remove our responsibility to be respectful, compassionate, or thoughtful. Sometimes authenticity means expressing yourself honestly. Sometimes authenticity means remaining silent because you know your words would cause unnecessary harm. Context matters. Another common misunderstanding is believing authenticity means never changing. But think about your younger self. Your opinions have probably changed. Your interests have changed. Your goals may have changed. If authenticity meant staying exactly the same forever, then personal growth would be impossible. Real authenticity isn't remaining identical. It's allowing your beliefs to evolve because you've genuinely learned something, not because you're pressured to conform. Perhaps the greatest obstacle to authenticity is fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of disappointing family. Fear of losing friends. Fear of standing out. Or even fear of discovering who we really are. Sometimes pretending is easier. It's safer. But over time, constantly pretending creates a gap between the life we live and the person we feel ourselves to be. That gap often becomes stress, frustration, or a feeling that something is missing. Closing that gap doesn't happen overnight. It happens through small decisions. Being honest when it matters. Admitting mistakes. Choosing relationships where you don't have to constantly pretend. Making decisions that align with your principles instead of your audience. Authenticity also doesn't mean you need to reveal everything about yourself. Privacy is not dishonesty. You can be authentic without sharing every emotion, every struggle, or every personal detail with the world. Being genuine is different from being completely transparent. So perhaps authenticity is less about asking, am I expressing everything? And more about asking, am I living according to what I truly believe? Before we finish, here's one final thought. Imagine reaching the end of your life and looking back. Would you remember the moments when everyone approved of you? Or would you remember the moments when you had the courage to live according to your own values? Authenticity doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't guarantee popularity. But it allows something many people spend their entire lives searching for. The feeling that the life you're living actually belongs to you. Thank you for listening to Propyleo Effect. If this episode made you reflect on your own life, consider sharing it with someone who might appreciate the conversation. Until next time, stay curious.